Well, as Trump and RFK Jr. are ready for a crackdown on ultra-processed foods, the maker of Twinkies doesn't appear too concerned. Their CEO saying, quote, "We believe very strongly that snacking continues. Consumers are going to continue to look for a way to reward themselves at different times throughout the day," and only acknowledges they could, quote, "look at reducing sugar." Co-founder of TruMed and the co-author of Good Energy, Calley Means, joins us now. Welcome, Calley.
Hey,
So
Rachel.
much of what you've been fighting for looks like it's about to happen. You say that we are on the verge of entering into a golden age for American health. I want to first I want you to look at the ingredients that are concerning about Twinkies and then tell me what you think. So it's high fructose corn syrup, yellow 5 dye, and red 40 dye. Why should we be concerned about those ingredients in Twinkies?
We should be concerned, Rachel, because those are not ingredients, by and large, that are in Twinkies that are made in any other country. Um, I want to be clear. Bobby Kennedy's not saying he's going to take the Twinkies away, but we should be starting to ask questions, as 77% of young adults aren't eligible to join the military in the United States due to metabolic health, due to food. We have these things called GRAS standards. No other country has them, where food companies can self-police. You know, that's not conservative. It's not liberal. It just doesn't make sense. We have 10,000 ingredients that aren't allowed in European foods. Even more alarmingly, Rachel, we subsidize this food.
Yeah.
Again, Twinkies should exist, but I was just on Amazon right before this show. They're available for SNAP. You can buy them with food stamp dollars right now, Twinkies. Additionally, Twinkies actually qualify for federally funded school lunch programs. There's no nutrition or sugar limits on federally funded school lunches. The last thing I'll mention, the USDA essentially recommends Twinkies for 2-year-olds. The USDA right now, our guidelines, which are very corrupt, say that 10% of a 2-year-old's diet can be added sugar. So by the letter of the nutrition guidelines, we're actually recommending Twinkies to kids. So as you said, there's a real optimistic vision here. I think the food industry is not fully understanding what President Trump and RFK are saying. They're saying, let's get all stakeholders together. Let's have American food be the most nutritious food in the world,
Amen
and
to
the best
that.
food in the world.
So when you talk about how it's actually recommended to 2-year-olds, Twinkies, explain the corruption that happens to get that Twinkie on a list of acceptable foods. Because, by the way, the ingredients, I put that list of ingredients, they're actually chemicals, right?
They're chemical. I don't think it should be called Red 40. It should be called crude oil. That's what Red 40 is. It's crude oil with a couple other molecules. Well, let me get into this corruption, because as Donald Trump and as President Trump and RFK have said, the first step is to get corruption out of the science. So the USDA Nutrition Guidelines Committee, you can't even believe this, but they're able to accept money from food and pharma companies. 19 out of the 20 advisors on that committee accept money from those industries. You can't even make this up, but 30% of President Biden's committee accepted money from GLP-1 makers, from Ozempic, from a Danish pharmaceutical company, Novo Nordisk. So you have just innate conflicts of interest that infect the USDA nutrition guidelines, infect our federal school lunch guidelines, infect our SNAP program. So before we talk about any policy whatsoever, let's just reconstitute that Nutrition Guidelines Committee and say you cannot accept money from food or pharma companies if you're going to be making recommendations for our kids.
Yeah, makes sense to me. By the way, this week, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to Capitol Hill. They're going to talk about DOGE, this effort, this new agency that's being created to cut down on expenses. What could cut down on government expenses more than getting people healthy? The number one thing we spend money on is healthcare.
Oh my gosh. I think the connection between MAHA and DOGE is a huge opportunity. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have been tweeting about this, actually. The biggest part of our budget and the fastest growing part of our budget is healthcare costs. And that is because we're getting sick. It's not the technicalities of policy. We're the sickest country in the world, and that's what's driving up so much inefficiency. So actually making our healthcare system more efficient, asking how we can spend money more effectively, that's actually asking how we can get healthier. So I think this connection between the DOGE effort and Bobby Kennedy's HHS, with incredible picks like Jay Bhattacharya, Marty McCary, Jim O'Neill, we can really do a lot. And I can tell you there's close collaboration happening between those two organizations.
Yeah, and Brooke Rollins at Agriculture, which is the other piece of that puzzle. So excited for what we're on the verge of this, as you call it, the golden era, the golden age of health for America. You've been on the forefront of this, and I'm just happy to see your dreams come true, Calley. Let's get it done.
Well, Rachel, you've been talking about it for a long time, and we are on the verge of a golden age here.
Awesome. Thanks, Calley. Come back.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.